So I'm 28 now and I make $100,000 a month. And I remember watching videos just like this, except it was a different game back in the day. I'd be watching some commentary, like if you remember the guys, Xcode or something like that, right? C Nanners, I think is his name. It'd be like some Call of Duty gameplay. And this was back when I was 12, 13, and I knew that I wanted to be rich and that I wanted to like go achieve a bunch of stuff in my life, but I didn't actually know how. I only knew that that was the object. I had a good feeling that, some degree or something wasn't going to make me multi millions of dollars, right? Oh, I want the yacht, I want the cars, all of that stuff. But in order to get there, I had no idea back in the day when I was watching these videos. So now I'm making them so I can kind of show you guys now that I am a millionaire and I can teach you how to get there. Even if you have no idea what you're going to do, where you're going to go, if you want a degree, or if you're trying to even go to college or start your own side thing, your own business, whatever you want to do, right? Here's 7 tips from the ground up that kind of helped me, and let's elaborate on them. First things first, the first dollar is harder than the next $10,000. The first dollar is more so a psychological trigger for you. Just understanding, like for me, for instance, even on my journey, the way that I got into business is on the internet with a website, selling a product on the website, right? So the first time that someone actually came to my website and bought something from me, and I got a notification on my phone saying that I had $49.99 or whatever from someone who just placed that first order, that was a psychological reframe for me. My mental got completely reframed and told me like, yo, this is a real thing. People will buy from you on the internet, right? So getting to that point of someone actually purchasing something from you or paying you for anything, any type of service or product, right? That's harder than actually getting to the first $10,000, because that first transaction, once you get there, once you get to that point, you do everything in your power to get to the next $10,000. Do you know what I mean? You already know it's real. So you're not asking a bunch of questions. You're not scared. You're committed to the journey now, right? So previously, I guess what I'm really trying to say is you getting to your first like 10K or your first 100K, you'll get there just through sheer willpower. You don't even have to be good at anything necessarily. You can just do that through brute force. And most people, you'll realize, have a commitment issue just even getting to there, right? Let's say I get it though. It's hard, like if you have a job or something. I was in a situation where I had 2 jobs and I was trying to side hustle my way out of those 2 jobs. Eventually I did, but it took a long time to where with those 2 jobs, I worked them enough to where I had a little bit of money on the side to test out my little side hustle. The side hustle started making enough money to where I could drop one job. And it's a gamble with yourself, though. It's not an actual gamble in life. It's a bet on yourself on whether or not, if you reinvest the amount of time that you spend on that job and you actually spend that time building whatever business, will you actually make it work? So for me, I took that bet on myself. And as long as you stay committed and you don't lose that, then you can't lose, So that's the hardest part. The first dollar is harder than your first $10,000. Now, tip number 2 is going to be nobody's coming to save you, bro. And that's the good news. No boss deciding your raise, no promotion cycle, no waiting your turn. The flip side is that nobody tells you what to do on Monday. You know what I mean? Like as a job or as a guy with a job, you're going to usually hate Mondays. But it's funny because now in the position that I'm in, I found myself loving Mondays most of the time. You know what I mean? Waking up, I don't know. I don't know why it is. I just like the fact that it's a new week. And after a while, you start waking up and you start attacking life. Like you look at life like it's fortunate, like there's so much opportunity. So every new day is just a new day of opportunity for you to move the needle a little bit further. And getting to that point is a big shift that you really should try and work on. Most people can't handle that part though, which is exactly why the ceiling is so high for the ones who can. If you can handle that, then the star is the limit. Literally, Elon Musk, literally the star is the limit in the funniest way possible. So number 3, you will be poor and busy for a while, and it looks like failure from the outside. So you cannot worry about what people are thinking or saying, because you are the only one who understands your path, right? If someone else in your life or in your surroundings looks at what you're trying to do a certain way, you have to understand that they cannot perceive the perspective that you have because they've never been on the other side of the river, right? Two differing perspectives. Like, for instance, let's say you guys both come from the same place, but your mentality has, let's say, outgrown theirs, and you're looking at bigger and better things, but they are still in the same spot mentally. Okay. So anything that they say, they really cannot perceive your level of vision simply because they haven't opened up their own perspective yet. Okay. So you cannot take too much pride or too much stock in what people say. And you really have to trust your own gut. You have to trust your will. You have to stick to your guns. And the best way that I could define the term grind, quote unquote grind, would be doing the same things, continuously working and hustling without seeing that needle in your life move forward yet. You keep doing the thing and that needle doesn't move forward. Like, that is so hard. But sometimes you need to keep doing that for that needle to go. And if the needle's not moving, it does not mean that you're working on the incorrect things. It simply means that you need to keep going a little bit longer because that's a part of it. I'm telling you right now, I've been in that situation. Anybody that you've seen who is ultra successful, they have been in that situation as well, where you feel like you're not moving, but it's not the case. You are moving. You're just compounding. You're compounding. So it might feel like you're not doing or making any motion for maybe a year or 2 years. But bro, by that third year, you'll go from 0 to 1 million. You know, I have a guy that I've been helping teach on, you know, how to start his business and get him up and running. And I think in the last 10 months, he went from 0 to 1 million because he did that, right? He did that beforehand. He stayed at the needle, the zero needle, for a while. And I've done this maybe over a couple of dozen times, but at this point, the key denominator that I see between all of you guys is really just the commitment level and betting on yourself, right? All of the factors are controllable in anything business related. Now, I did say I had 7 tips for you guys, but this video is coming to a close very shortly. So I wanted to touch on one very important thing. Attention is the actual asset. Look, products change or platforms change, trends die, right? So the main skill that you need to learn in order to like keep yourself constantly, recession proof, is just build a skill set that can never be replaced or that's always in need, but it just evolves, right? So for me, I just chose that to be like marketing and, you know, e-com and stuff like that. But for you, it might be different. Whatever that is though, make sure you pick one thing and stick to it. And I'll see you in the next video.